What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing fantastic as always. Back at it again with another tutorial video. Today we're going to be looking at how to make your first animation for a character in Unreal Engine 5. But we will be using the characters, mannequins, meshes, Manny, and we're just going to drag that into our third-person template project. Now, if you've been following along, you'll have all of this. Otherwise, you'll just have this blank third-person template project, which drag him anywhere you want. And then we're going to go to the top and do add level sequence. And we're going to name this YouTube level sequence. And that'll add a level sequencer. Then we're going to click on the plus track, go to actor to sequence, find our SKM Manny. If you used a different one, add that one. And this is where we can control pretty much the tracking of animations and a whole bunch of stuff, really. But for today, we will cover kind of where we can adjust our FPS. We're going to leave it at default. That's fine for now. And keyframes and the keyframe slider. I actually don't know what this is called. We're going to call it a keyframe slider. And kind of how to track is how to make a very simple custom animation. So the first thing we're going to do is click on the keyframe button to track the everything of our character. We can see that by opening the expanding of our character. This is each bone. And we're going to track every bone as our default position. And we're going to go 15 frames in and make adjustments by using these rings, so to speak, joints. So we're going to take the elbow joint. Let's make sure we are on move. So we're going to press W. You can double check that by looking up here. And let's go. We're going to go to the rotate tool with the E button and rotate this up. Like that. Just kind of keep tweaking it until it looks right. We're just going to keep going back and forth between the rotate and the move tool until it looks about like we want it to. That looks pretty good to me. So what we're going to do now is mark our first change at 15 frames. And we're going to go another 15 frames. And copy our first frames. First keyframes. Make sure we get all of them here, copy, and then we can just go back over here and paste. So what this does, let me back up, is lets us return to our original position after the change. So if we play it, arm's a little wonky, but again, that can just be adjusted with fidgeting and the rotator tool and the move tool. So that's how we change and track pretty much everything going on here at once. We're moving several bones. If we just wanted to move one, we can do that by going to that bone. So let's go to the hips here. And let's go ahead and let's see here, at 45 frames. We will have these frames on these hips on the rotate tool. I'm not sure I grabbed the right one there. that's the hips. Okay. Have them go over 30 degrees that way. Mark it, just the hips. And we'll go 60. And we'll go positive 60 here. Mark it. And then what we're going to do is take the first one and go to 75, and then go back, and then one more time, over at 90, then take the original, where we started, go to 105, and put it there. So let's see this all together. There's a little hip wiggle. It's happy to see us. But it's a little slow, so let's speed that up. And we can do that by zooming in with control. This control mouse wheel. We can see more keyframe options here. We can just drag this keyframe, let's say to 5, so from 30 to 35. And we'll just bring the rest of these in line with that 5, consistent 5 differential. And now that we've sped up the keyframe interval, let's see how that looks. You can see that drastically speeds it up. So within an FPS, that's how we can speed up an animation, is by decreasing the amount of keyframes it has to use. Now the next thing we're going to do is go back to the top here. Right click our SKM Mani, hit Bake Animation Sequence, and we're going to name this YouTube Animation Sequence. And we're just going to export all of that. We can open our content browser and it will be in our meshes folder. We can double click that. And it is ready for use, but we will cover how to attach custom animations to a character in another video. That's a separate process, but here's how you get started making your custom animations, and we can use these in a bunch of different ways. So if you made it this far in the video, I hope you were able to recreate it and do it yourself. I think that brings us to the end of the video. Hopefully I've earned your like, comment, or subscription today if you were able to follow along and recreate this in your own project. We also have a Patreon if that's more up your alley. You can check out here. Either way, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.